Federal prosecutors say that two men charged in a sex trafficking ring in Seattle tried to transport their victims to Hawaii and other states.
Yeah, the men are believed to be connected to a street gang that traffics minors and adult women. Leanthony Palmer and Brandon Barnett are accused of using force, threats, and fraud to enslave their victims. Palmer was first indicted last fall, and a superseding indictment added additional charges this week. Barnett had been in Washington state custody since November and is now indicted on federal charges. If convicted, they each face a minimum sentence of 15 years with up to life in prison.
Chinatown manslaughter